People, open up Illustrator, please. And you can just open up like an 8.5 by 11 sheet for today. I'm going to introduce a few new tools. Hopefully, you guys all got the robot submitted. I told the sub to tell you that yesterday. If I didn't have you submit it last week, I told you to submit it yesterday. If you did not, make sure you do that. You can just submit your Illustrator file into Canvas. It should be open. Did anybody try? Yes, no? Did it work? Okay. Yeah, you could just do 8.5 by 11 or 11 by 8.5, whatever you want to do, actually. You want to stay on page with me, do 8.5 by 11. Everybody good? Tom, you good? Tom, you're always grinding on something other than this. Then I got to remind you like 15 times to get stuff done and turned in. Come on, my dude.
I know.
You might want to stay up a little bit later, do that homework at home, buddy.
No.
Nah, bro. All right. So today, a couple things here. If you guys look up here at mine, I'm going to look at, which we already know how to use, but the black move tool, the white arrow, which selects separate anchor points. We're going to look at this guy, the pen tool. Next to it, there's another pen that looks like a little snake coming out of it. We're going to look at that guy. And then down here, see if you guys can find this one. It looks like two little circles with a white arrow. Do you guys have that one? Is my screen locked or good? Okay. All right, so we're going to look at all those together today, how they work together, and then tomorrow you'll apply those to actually creating something. And we're going to also use the shape tool. So let's just start here. Go ahead and get the shape tool and just make a rectangle. And then give it whatever color you want. I don't want the stroke on. I'm going to turn that off. All right. And then with the black arrow, just make sure it's selected. Hopefully yours looks something like mine, other than I don't care what color you used. But remember, just to kind of review, do you have these little circles on the inside? Remember, those little things, they call them widgets. If you drag those, you can bend this, okay? What I'm going to show you today, just like that, is a lot of stuff that you see in the visual world when it comes to logos, phone apps, things like that. The Twitter symbol, all of that stuff is basically built out of basic shapes, okay, using Illustrator. And we're going to actually create some of the logos you've seen or you have on you right now using just basic shapes in the days to come here. And all these tools that I'm going to show you allow you to do that, all right? So you don't have to be the best artist to try to freehand draw something. It's starting with basic shapes, learning these tools to put them together to create something a little more complex. So there's that with the little widgets here. All right, click off of it, your shape. Get the little white arrow, okay? Now, to activate this one, you usually have to go right on the edge of your shape. So I'm right here on the right-hand side, and it actually highlights and it says path. If I click now just once, you should get the little white anchor points around it. Yes? Yes, yes? All right. I'm just going to click on the bottom right one here. Just click on it once and look, it highlights blue. Go ahead and click and drag it. All right. If it doesn't work, you may have to click off of it and then click back on it. But it should start with white anchor points, and then if you got the white arrow, Ellie? Okay, click off of it once. Just click right on the edge, like not right on the corner, just on an edge. There you go. Did it work? All right. Just let go. Click off of it, and then click back on it somewhere so that it you need help?
I need a white arrow?
Yeah, white arrow.
I'm on white arrow.
Sometimes you gotta click on it more than once. Click off of it once. Now click on it. You gotta click right on the edge. There you go. There you go. Did it work?
No.
Drag the anchor point, not the little stick here. Watch this. Yeah. There you go. Because everybody's working. We good? All right. Look here. With your white arrow selected still, click off of your shape, click back on it so that it's active and you see little white anchor points. All right. Watch this. I'm going to click on the top right anchor point. It highlights blue. Hold down shift, go click on the bottom right anchor point. Now both of them are blue. So that one's blue, this one's blue. Now watch what happens. Now when I drag, it's going to move both of those for me. And then the left ones are going to remain anchored down to where they're at. All right, so with the white arrow, you can edit one anchor point, or if you hold down shift, you can select other anchor points as well. I'm just going to kind of get this back to the shape it was. And click off of it. Go ahead and click off of it. Click back on it with the black arrow. And if you notice what happens here, it says that it's selected and it shows you what the original shape was. If you see my little outline blue box, it actually shows you how the shape started, and it shows obviously that we've edited it a little bit. All right. Go ahead and click off of it, and we're going to look at this guy right here. This pen tool. It's this first one on the left-hand side of your toolbar. Okay? Click, hold it down. Or yeah, click and just hold the mouse so you get the little menu here. So there's 4 of them in there. We're not going to look at the first one yet. That's to actually draw stuff. All right? And it's fairly easy once you get the hang of it, but that's more for like tracing objects or freehand drawing. Right now, we're just worried about using basic shapes. So we're going to look at this guy, add anchor point, delete anchor point, and then this little anchor point tool. Okay? Go ahead and hit add anchor point. And I'm going to come right here. Go ahead over to your right side of whatever shape you have now, if it started with a rectangle. I'm going to locate the middle here, or close to the middle. And just click right on the edge, and it should have put an anchor for you. Yes, no? Yes? All right. Now, personal preference here. What you can do is this. I could go up and get the white arrow and check it out. Now I have another anchor point that if I have to click off of it and then back on. That anchor point I just added, I now am able to adjust. Go ahead and see if yours works. You got to get the white arrow, click off of your shape, then click back on it. Does it work? Okay. Click off of your shape. Go ahead and get the add anchor point pen tool again. I'm going to go over here onto the left side. Click and add an anchor point, and then leave your cursor right where it's at. Check it out. If you don't want to go up every time and get the white arrow, if you hold down the control key now, so I added an anchor point. If I hold down control, look what happens. It automatically turns my cursor into the white arrow, and now I can edit that side. All right. So we've just started off with a rectangle, and now we got a little bit more complex shape. All right. Okay, here's the other deal. Go ahead and hold that pen tool down again. If you don't like something you've done or one of the anchor points that originally matches up with it, if you hit delete anchor point, go ahead and start clicking on your little anchor points in your shape. They should delete. If I click this one, which is one of the original anchor points, it's now turned it into a triangle. All right. I'm going to Control Z to step back a little bit. Control Z will step back. And it only goes so far. All right. Go ahead and in that pen tool again, hold it down. So you're right here. And we're going to get this guy. It looks like a little upside down V. Anchor point tool. Here's how this thing works. Ready? Watch this. Put it right on one of your anchor points. Click, hold the mouse down, and drag like out. And you should get these little funky handlebars, yes? Yes, yes? All right. The farther the handlebars become, so look how stretched out my handlebars are, the bigger the curve will be. If I move them in, the slighter the curve will be. I can also steer the handlebars. Check it out. If I spin them all the way around, I'm now going to have like a loop. Okay? So maybe I want something like this. Boom. Maybe I go to this anchor point down here, bottom left, hold it down, spin. Now I've got a kind of rounder rectangle. Okay, so there's many ways to round edges. You can use the little widget circle or use this anchor point tool. All right, just Control Z to step back a little bit so that you have some hard edges, or just delete the whole shape itself and make a new rectangle if you want. Okay, I'm going to get the black arrow and click off of my shape. So it's deselected here. Let's get this guy right here. It's the pen tool that has like a little line coming out of it. If you hover over it, it says, back here, it says curvature tool. Okay, here's how this one works. Fairly simple. Helps make your life a lot easier when you're creating something. Go ahead and get that tool. And if you notice, you'll actually see a little pen, and it's got a little line coming out of it. It's got a little star. What I'd like you to do is go right onto one of your edges. Click, hold the mouse down, and drag in. You may have to do it once or twice. You have to be right on the edge. Click, hold the mouse down, drag in. And you should see like a line. Yes, what's up?
I'm not seeing that.
All right, let me see your toolbar that you set up there. Oh, where is your pen tools? That's why. There's that guy. Oh, you know what? You may be working in. You are in the old Illustrator. That's why. Wait, you in that one?
I don't know.
No. You were in the old one. The old one doesn't have some of those tools. That one should have it. Did it work for you? Yes, no? People? All right. Check it out. Go up to one of your other edges. I'm going to go to this top one. Click, drag in. I'll go over to this edge. Click and drag in. All right. Go up and get your white arrow. Right here, people. Go up and get your white arrow. We got it? All right. Now that we've used that curvature tool, check this out. Come in with the white arrow. Click right on the edge of your shape so it should select it. You should see white anchor points, and now you should see two new ones where you curved it. Yes or no? All right. So those are free game now. I can edit those. Okay. Just kind of showing you how all these tools interact with each other. Where do I want to go next here? All right. Go ahead and just select this shape, delete it. Make something like this here, and I don't care what colors you use. So I'm going to do a rectangle. So I'm going to do a circle that kind of overlaps it right about here. And I'm going to make the circle a different color just so you guys can kind of see this. So you should have something like this. Here's what we're going to look at right here. You need to locate this tool. It's got two little circles and a white arrow. If you hover over it, it'll say Shape Builder Tool. We find it? Okay. Here's how this works. First of all, this tool will allow you to combine shapes or get rid of stuff. All right. And in the near future, I will show you how just using a series of circles, we can make one of the Adidas symbols. All right. Or a series of circles, we can make the Twitter logo. All right. And it's using these kind of things. None of those were free-handed. All right. They may have started as a sketch, but then it was put into Illustrator. Using basic shapes, you can create more complex things. So here's how this works. To select both of your shapes or anything on your work area, you can either click and drag across them like this. So I just got the mouse held down. I'm with the black arrow. Let go and they both select. Okay. Or I can click on one shape, hold down shift, click on the other shape. Okay. So let's have them both selected. Once they're both selected, now you have to have them. And what will happen is as you guys start working, you'll go to use this tool and be like, see, it's not working. That's because you don't have everything that you want to use this tool on selected. That's all you have to do. You're just going to have to go back and select it. So check this out. Get the Shape Builder tool. Don't do anything yet. Just bring your mouse over and hover inside part of your area of one of your shapes. Does it turn to kind of like a grayish mesh? All right. So I'm right up here. Go into like where the circle and the rectangle overlap. Okay, now that's into that meshy kind. And then go to this one. Okay, here's what it's telling you. Watch. If you start up here, click, hold the mouse down, drag across all three of these sections and let go. It will become one shape. Now, to save us time, because you are smart people, now that it's all one shape, look here. I'm not going to have you do this, but all the other tools we've just learned are still in game. So if I get the white arrow, click on this, all these little anchor points now, I can adjust. Okay. Step back here. I can do, if I get the curvature pen, maybe I want to put a curve right here. Okay. Maybe I get this little anchor point tool under the one pen tool. I can bend one of the corners. Okay. So we started out with a rectangle and a circle, and now by using the shape builder, maybe I'm trying to develop some kind of shape for a logo. This looks corny, but okay, who knows? All right. So you have this. Okay. Go ahead and step back so that they're all, just Control Z so they're both separated. What I would like you to do is, I don't care what shape you use. I'll just go with this guy. I don't know what it is. It's a triangle, so I'll hit OK. What I'd like you to do is, let me change its color so you guys can see. Put another shape, but put it over here, overlapping another side of your rectangle. And make sure there's some space in between these two shapes down here that are overlapping, the circle and mine's a triangle. Okay. All right, check this out. Select them all. So click on one, hold down shift, click on the other ones. Or drag across all of them. Are they all selected? I'm taking your silence as a yes. All right. Okay, let's say I want to combine all of these. Remember, you have to drag across everything. Watch this. Get your shape builder tool. Just so you know this. So look here. Well, see, how am I going to, hopefully, if you just start here, you can get all of them. But you don't have to do it all in one fell swope. So what I mean by that is this. Sometimes you may have some shapes that you want to combine, but they're far from each other. So I could go like this. I could click, drag this. Now that's a shape. Then I could come down here, drag this. Now it's all a shape. All right. So you may have to do separate sections at a time. This one I probably could have went like this. Start here, just drag around the whole thing, and it will become a shape. Okay. Did it work? Yes? All right. All right. Click on it. Select it with the black arrow. Select it with the black arrow and hit delete. Here's what else that shape builder tool is good for. Let's say I want to make, I'm starting to make a logo that's going to be like an A and W, the letters A and W, but I want to create them myself for some logo. Here's what I want you to do. Get your polygon tool. Okay. Boom. If you just click and hold down once and let go, you should get a window so you can tell the sides. Just let's make it 3 and hit OK. So you get a triangle. I'm going to scale mine up to look something like this. All right, maybe I'll make it a little wider. So in the past, as I also do some design work outside of school for people, maybe you want to create, you're doing some logo stuff. You don't want to use just the text tool and the letter A. You want them to be more looking like geometric shapes, all right? Because some logos, they take shapes, it looks like letters, but if you look at them carefully, it turns into something else, all right? And I'll show you some of those down the road here. So I want to make a nice geometric looking triangle that also represents the letter A, all right? So this is selected, hold down the Alt key inside, or you can go edit, copy, edit, paste. But I'm going to hold down the Alt key, keep it held down. You should see a black and white arrow, yes? Click and just drag, click the mouse, drag down, and I'm going to line up this triangle. I don't care how you guys want yours, but I want to get it so it looks kind of like that. Okay? Look, it's the start of a tree. So you should have something like this, and actually, so you got, I'll keep it like this. This is fine. All right. Check this out. Select both of them. So click and drag across them. Get the shape builder tool right over here. All right, watch this. This time, notice if I do what we did, I'm not going to drag or anything. I'm just highlighting stuff. I can see all my different parts now. All right, it's showing us where each piece is. Check this out. Instead of clicking and dragging on everything, hopefully you have a little triangle inside, like right here. Yes? Yes, yes. Put your cursor in there. Hold down the Alt key, and the arrow should turn from a plus to a minus. Yes? Click. Go down to this part. Hold down the Alt key. Click. So now I've just taken two basic shapes, all right, and have used the shape builder tool to get a nice, perfect, precise, geometric looking kind of abstract A, all right? Hold down Alt. Go in that middle triangle, hold down Alt, and click. Right next to the space bar. And click. There you go. Now do that. Yep, same thing. There you go. All right, here's what I would like you to do. Black arrow. Your black arrow, select this. Select this guy. We're going to copy it. Hold down Alt. I'm going to click and drag it to here. Okay. Is it selected still? Right click. If you right click, you'll get this menu. You can also go up to edit and do this, but I like quicker to just right click. We're going to go down to transform. Go down to transform. Hit rotate. In this window, type in 180 and hit enter. And now I'm going to kind of align this so that I'm going to use the arrow keys. Boom. Well, I should have. All right. With this upside down one selected, hold down Alt, click, drag it, and move it over to here. Let go. All right. So now we have kind of the makings of those initials that I wanted, AW. Okay. Select these two. So look, I clicked on, let me do that again. I'm going to click on this first one that I turned upside down, and I'm going to hold down Shift and click on this guy. Am I lost anybody? No? Okay. Now here's where, and again, I will lead you young grasshoppers till you get comfortable with it, but here's where now you can start messing around and getting a little bit more abstract with your design and start making them look kind of professional. So I have these two selected. Get your shape builder. What I like to do first when I'm doing this is look, I just go through and just put my cursor over parts to see which parts are now. Now these are all reading as separate shapes, okay? So maybe if I wanted to, right here, this middle section, if I held down Alt, I would get rid of that. Go ahead and do that. All right. Click the black arrow and click off of this, just so that you can see this. So we've deleted that middle section, but guess what we did not do? We didn't drag across everything. So when you're using this tool, watch. Now that I've done that, if you hover over each part of this, look, these are now separate little shapes that I now can start making more abstract things, or maybe I want something in here to start taking the negative space to start looking like something. All right. So it is a pretty important tool when we start building things in here, which we are going to be doing the next couple days. Okay. I now have all these different pieces that I can move around. Maybe I want to line them up better and closer. Maybe I want to get rid of sections. So I use that shape builder tool to take parts out so I'm left with what I want. To get it lined up. Now I have something like this. Okay. So once we start, right now I'm just introducing you to the tools. The first couple things we made were just to show you how to use the tools to anchor points. This is actually the start of, could be the start of something. Maybe I drag over everything, get it nice and centered. Okay. And could be the workings of, depending on what I'm doing for a company with the letters A and W, could be the first concept of what they want. All right. You do not have to save this unless you want to, but again, I just wanted to introduce you to those pen tools, the shape builder, and making sure you still remember you can use the little white arrow, even with this thing. If I wanted to curve the edges in, I just click on it, use the little circles here, and now instead of rough edges, I have a more to it. Okay, click on this guy. All right, so the sky's the limit once you get to know how to use these little tools here. And again, these all started as just basic shapes. I didn't freehand any of this, nor did you. All right. That is it for today. Again, you don't have to save this unless you are in love with what you've designed.